Hey guys, hopefully you can hear me now. I tried downloading Google, trying it from this way. Claude's going to be a couple minutes. He's a little tied up at the moment, but he'll be joining me shortly, guys. Sorry about the first attempt. It seemed to be losing sound. Can you guys hear me okay now? What's everybody wearing watch wise? Bruce, you want me to send you a link, bud? All right, let's try this again now. Hopefully
Okay.
it'll work. It works this time with Google.
Google, what were you using beforehand?
Safari. I think that's probably what my problem was.
Well, yeah, because Apple and Google don't want to play well together because they're both dicks. They're both totally being dicks.
True. So, yeah. How's it going, Howdy? What's up, Jason? How's it going, bud? How's it going down in Aruba? You want me to send you a link, Jason, if you want to join in? But we were talking about the Clinton before, right, Clive?
Yeah. I haven't had a chance to put that up on the avatar yet.
Okay. Underachieving's wearing the two-tone root beer. Nice. That's a nice piece, man. Yeah, Dane. Haven't seen much.
Are we talking about like the older, in the line of fire, Clint Eastwood root beer, or the newer root beer, the root beer with the rose gold? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, I was just letting you ask him the question there. Paul M's wearing the Black Bay 58, and then he's got a Casio GA 2100 skeleton, and now sub. Nice. But yeah, we're talking about the Clinton, and I think we're talking about what some of the best buys in vintage right now are. You said there's some Longines.
I think Longines out there that are unappreciated. I think Movado. My suggestion is don't look for brands, look for condition.
Mm-hmm. Because there's a lot of brands out there that people never even heard of, right?
Yeah.
That are really good buys.
That can be. I will say not are, but can be. Mm-hmm. But I'd say look for something that really grabs your, that really tickles your fancy. Not in a gay way.
I got you.
Of course, in a gay way, there's nothing wrong with that.
Now, what about Serica? Weren't they part of Breitling at one point?
Who?
Is it Serica? Is that the name? You know who I'm thinking of?
No.
But yeah, there's a couple I've seen out there. Actually, vintage Breitling's not that bad of a buy either.
The old, great Grambino watcher is the old, the Clint Eastwood, the In the Line of Fire. It's beautiful. I think those are underappreciated.
Mm-hmm.
For Rolex. Now keep in mind they are still they're still outrageously expensive because any Rolex, but I think the old root beer GMTs probably should be more than what they're going for already.
Mm-hmm.
I think those are iconic Rolexes, and so I think I could even get worse.
Yeah, definitely. Now, what do you think about like the date that I had?
No, that's a piece of shit. No.
You think so?
Oh no. Okay. No. I will take that back. Conventional wisdom said, and of course, okay, and I was being facetious with you, but most people not too long ago would have said, "Oh, it's 34. It's too small. It's a women's watch." Shitter. And but the thing is, I think the 34s are going up in price and becoming more and more unavailable.
Pretty much anything Rolex, right?
Pretty much.
What's up, Nilo?
As long as it's not just an outright, flat out, as long as it's not a Pro Master where it's just 100% looking at it, a woman's watch from across the room. Yeah.
Nice, Dane. I didn't know you had it. I guess Dane's got the vintage root beer GMT, the one you're talking about, the Clint Eastwood.
Yep.
And then Underachieving saying his Rolex AD sells used watches. They have 2 vintage root beers, but very expensive.
Well, what I think the only thing that can break the back of Rolex demand is if they pull a total Panerai.
Rolex's marketing's too good. I don't see them allowing that to happen though.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. If they basically tell part of it, they're already in the works of it. They're telling the ADs, "Hey, do not vouch for used watches."
Mm-hmm.
Because over here they used to be, yeah, sure, we'll take a look at it, and they'll say, now they've gone from that to we're not going to crack the case, we're not going to look at the movement. They said based upon the movement, based upon the bracelet, based upon the head and everything else, it looks fine, but we'll not vouch for it 100% because we're not allowed to look at break the case and get into the case, look at the movement.
Mm-hmm.
And but at the same time, as we know, the fakers, they're getting better. They're slowly getting better. It's like the Borg. They keep coming back and coming back and coming back. And each time their defenses or their offense, their weapons and their shields are a little bit better. They learn and they adapt. That's what the counterfeiters are doing.
Yeah.
I think before too long, it'll be to the point to where it'll be to where a couple of well-known resellers will probably make a good faith mistake and sell a replica as a authentic used. And once word gets out, that happens 2 or 3 times. Once word gets out, it would almost be to where it would be to where you almost could only do it if an AD, if you bought it new or used from an AD.
Yeah. I mean, it even happened with, which I mean, I know it has nothing to do with watches, but it even happened with Jerry Seinfeld with Porsches. You remember that?
Yep.
He had what he thought was a real Porsche, but it turned out being a replica. He corrected the mistake. I think once he sold the guy the car, he bought it back or whatever, something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Or gave him his money back, something like that. But yeah, I mean, it happens.
Yeah, and because the replicas are getting better every time. I mean, people are raising the alarm bells, but people don't want to. People don't want to recognize it, realize it.
Mm-hmm.
So, all it's going to take is a couple of good faith ADs selling replicas in good faith, and then they'll get to where people will still want Rolex, but they'll say, "No, I'm getting it from the AD. I'm not getting it for you." The ADs. Now, the ADs will check it out. Will check out the watches and verify it if they're buying the watch.
Mm-hmm.
So I think unless the reseller has has tie-ins to the Rolex, or besides watchsmiths that have been trained extensively, you can tell the difference, or they can even look it up, go into records in Geneva, and say, "Yep, wait a minute, this serial number has been used 5 times."
Yeah.
Your private seller can't do that. Your average reseller can't do that, but an AD can.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Rolex is setting it up to where to really help the ADs.
You think there might be a day, maybe a couple years down the road, where we can actually walk into the AD and buy one again at retail?
It could be. And when you think about the resellers, because the resellers, a lot of them are hating the current situation with Rolex. They don't want to deal with them because the margins, because even though the demands are really, really spectacularly high, the margins are low. They're all complaining because they've been through the hands of like 2 or 3, I mean, besides the original purchaser, the flipper, then they've been through 2 or 3 watch traders who try to raise the price up. By the time it gets to the end seller or the end reseller, it's sky high because it's passed through so many hands, but not a lot of profit.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, it looks like there's a possibility that the watch Rolex that they bought is in fact a replica. They're looking at liability.
Yeah.
And some of them, like I said, Fed's already announced, well, that he's not going to, if you're coming to me with a Rolex in perfect condition with everything, I'm not going to, don't talk to me. I'm not interested.
Mm-hmm.
Now, of course, if you don't have box papers, he'll talk to you because that way he can fuck you.
Mm-hmm.
And then turn around, and then turn around and sell it for as much as he can. But,
yeah.
But I think if that happens, though, I think that might be the savior of the secondary market.
I seen a video where, did you watch David Khalil?
Yeah.
Did you see his latest video where he got like 20 Rolex and Omegas, like pretty much unworn?
No.
Yeah, he got like a bundle of like 20 of them that he bought. It's like Rolex and Omega, and I think like 1 or 2 tags or something like that from a private collector. Like I guess the guy just literally bought them and didn't wear them at all. He just kept them in his watch box.
Yeah. So did he pay top money or did he?
He didn't say. I'm sure he probably got a deal to where he's going to make money on his end, I'm sure. Otherwise, he probably wouldn't have bought them.
Right.
Underachieving watch collector said he went to his Rolex 80 yesterday, and they had new display cases, less spots to hold non-existent watches. What's up, bud? How you doing, bud?
Well, and I'm thinking right now, if you're all chasing Rolexes, if you're all chasing hype watches, good luck. I think you're in for a bunch of pain, expense, and disappointment.
Mm. Yeah, there's so many other brands out there.
Yeah. Well, like I said, you did the news alert.
Yeah, the little spoof video.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's actually already gotten a couple hundred views, so it's doing pretty decent on views. And then David said he was paying high dollar for that collection. Sounds like he was keeping most of them as well. I'm sure he's selling some privately too. I'm sure, like I said, he bought it. He was thinking of profit when he got it. I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
He can say what he wants on YouTube, but he probably bought it for profit. I'm sure.
Well, he damn sure didn't buy him to lose money.
No, yeah. What's going on, Dodger? Anyway, he's saying one specific Omega speedy moon to Mars. That's Dane.
Oh. I'm also trying to figure out.
There's certain people, Danger Will Robson, that I just don't even watch anymore on YouTube. But what were you saying, Cloud?
And Danger Will Robinson, I agree completely. There are some people like Dr. BBW. I love him to death. He is morally, ethically, personally, he's a very good person. But God damn, he puts me to sleep. It's just the cadence and intonation of his voice. And I made that same one with Unlock Showcase watches. That was I've teased him too hard about. I teased him too hard. He got butthurt about it. But it's just like it's almost like an ASMR video. But no cadence. The voice is the same and doesn't change cadence or pitch or volume. It's very monotonous to where you have a hard time seeing when the sentences begin or end, kind of like watching James T. Kirk on Star Trek.
Man. By the way, if you guys are on, check out Bruce Williams. I think he's going to be having, Armand. He used to be Armand, the Watch guy. Now he's the Watch Chronicler. I think he's going to have him on a live stream here at 5.
He's now the Watch Chronicler?
Yeah, that's Armand, the Watch guy.
Okay.
It's the Watch Chronicler now, I believe.
Why is he changing his? Never mind.
I don't know.
I don't know. You know what the difference is between ignorance and apathy?
I hear you.
I don't know, and I don't care.
All watches in Poland go straight to flippers. Rolex do nothing about it.
Yep.
It's almost every country, even over here, it's starting to be that way.
Oh yeah, but if Rolex, all they'd have to do if they goosed production up a little bit, and they'd break the back.
Mm-hmm.
They would break the back. If Rolex just suddenly, for one quarter, just put out more watches to where you could just go to the AD, go to your local AD, and get it within a few months. My God.
Mm-hmm.
My God, these ADs, these resellers who pay top dollar would be getting hammered.
There's got to be a bubble at some point. I mean, the same thing happened. Tim Moss actually mentioned it in one of his videos too, as well. Like the same thing happened with the Ferrari market back in the day. Like people were buying Ferraris like crazy. Like multi-million dollars, and now they've gone down,
Or Panerai, Paneristi.
Mm-hmm.
But, and again, Paneristi, but I think you could draw a rough comparison between Panerai and Rolex. I mean, even as Archie pointed out, people were contacting Archie and they were selling Rolexes, admittedly as popular Rolexes, to buy really hot Panerais models. Mm-hmm. But, and Panerai was doing the same thing. Okay.
Yeah, he has all the Rolexes he likes. His dad's got a pretty nice collection.
Okay. Okay, bud. It was before. How much is it now? Like 30? It was before then.
Yeah.
But one of the reasons why Panerai, and again, right now he's chasing H. Moser and C, which I'm not getting, but it's his collection. H. Moser, hey, that's a good freaking watch.
You got one, don't you?
I said, bud. Yes. I've got the Endeavor Small Seconds, and I love that watch.
Okay.
I need to probably get that out. Yeah. But Bud. The I forgot what I was going to say now. But I almost think Panerai was where Rolex was was back a few years ago. Panerai was where Rolex is now. Again, and people were just trying everything they could to get them. But and Panerai was taking advantage of it.
Mm.
And they're still I still think Panerai's twats. I'm sorry. I think I hate I hate Richmond. Richmond, and of course it's like Omega and everything else in the special editions, and it's like LVMH and the the 50 Fathoms. They don't want to give you the watch that you really want. They want you to buy 2 or 3 watches instead. but they were cutting back on the basic ones, the ones that were truest to form, making those really hard to get, making everyone get the more complicated, more expensive ones, and driving the price up, and not necessarily being reflected in the quality or the craftsmanship or the technology of the watch.
Yeah.
So it was possible for these counterfeiters to go and get the legit. Of course, they use ETA movements like the 64 and 98 movement. It was possible for the counterfeiters to get the ones, make it with the exact same ETA movement, and be basically 80% of a Panerai. I think the only way you could tell really was that the latch for Luminor Marina is that the latching to the latching mechanism to the side to hold the crown wasn't quite up to their standards, but it was pretty damn close. And they were making all sorts of, and they were selling them for a pretty penny. Okay, there's someone with their new number. Thanks, Sean. Text me fucking Sunday afternoon. Jesus Christ. All right, anyway, so and so they became flooded with the replicas, and that's one of the reasons why Panerai quit. One of the reasons why Panerai quit authenticating their watches, because they were getting really, really close to Panerai standards, and Panerai didn't want to they didn't want to preserve the used market. They wanted more or less get the point out. Hey, Paneristi, unless you want to get fucked with a possible replica for thousands of dollars, you can only buy it from us, from the ADs. And I almost think Rolex is in a position to do the same thing. But in this case, it might help.
Yeah. Like you said, if they just ramp up production where they're actually available, it would hurt the secondary market, huh?
Or like I said, it could be, if the replica makers keep getting better and better, all it takes is like a few whoopsies, good faith whoopsies from some of the major resellers, and it would deflate the confidence in the resellers. If Crown and Caliber said whoopsie, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if how good of a replica it was. People are going to say, no. You charge me top fucking dollar for this watch. You charged me more than what it cost new, and it turned out you can even determine if it was a replica or not. Screw you guys.
Bud the Stud's got a question. Was Pam ever as popular as Rolex?
Maybe like 20 years ago, yeah.
And then Dodger's asking what you should collect instead of Rolex.
Okay, Dodger, that's like asking me to. Okay, Dodger, I'm not going to be your boyfriend. I'm not going to pick your meals for you. Okay. And I'm not homophobic. I just, sorry. But now, Dodger, it depends upon what you really like and what's really important to you. And also, and if it's going to be value appreciation, if you're just wanting to play the Rolex again, if you're just wanting to play the Rolex game and play it with another brand, you figure out what it has heritage, you figure out what has history, what's known to not just the watch nerds, but to the watch buying public, and go for that brand as well. But keep in mind, it's going to be long. It's going to be a long-term play.
And definitely budget plays a lot into it too. Yeah.
The overseas, the first version overseas, I think are still undervalued. I think vintage Movado. I'd see what is out there by you. See what's out there in real life. Go and look. Do your research. I mean, follow your heart, but do your research before you pull the trigger out there.
Definitely. There's a watch for every budget too. Like Dane said, there's a dozen high-end watches to collect besides Rolex. You just find what you like and start buying.
Yep. Breitling is one. Zenith is another one.
Yeah.
Because they're talking about that big ugly Zenith, that PVD, and of course, PVD stands is this acronym for fucking value deflation.
And Dane's bringing up another good point too. Tudor, Rolex's sister company.
True. Well,
I really like the Pelagos. That was a great watch. I think it's like probably the best buy for under $5,000 US.
I still think, even Zealous. Okay, SaleenDriver. Okay, Zealous. We'll talk about Zealous. Are you fun? Are you happy? Jesus Christ. I mean, okay, so, and Saleen, there's actually Zealous next to me. I'm looking at it. I was looking at it for a little bit. Oh, and Longines. Longines is another one. If you can look around used, find a good deal on Longines.
Definitely, and Breitling is one of those ones you have to buy either at a discount or secondhand. Let the other person take the hit, right?
Yeah, exactly. Breitling is a very long-term play. Yeah, but
pre-owned JLC, that's a pretty good one.
Yeah, true. I would, and guys, if you're asking me, I think I would look at Bill Sanders, Watch Art Sci. I watch that channel religiously.
Yeah, he finds all kind of high-end horology on a budget too.
Yeah. That's for taller people.
Man. Well, we're closing in on half an hour. Are you about ready to call it an evening? Plus what
I think so, yes.
We did earlier. Since, like I said, I think Bruce is about to come on here in a couple minutes. So
all right.
I'll probably go over and watch his stream. All right, man. I appreciate everybody for joining in the comments. Thanks, Cloud, for coming on.
Be well. Bye.
All right, later guys.